to Griswold School, class of 2035. That's right, Michelle. This is a really exciting night. Thank you all for coming. I can tell teachers, I can tell right now that this is going to be a very engaged parent group for a couple of reasons. One, they were all on time, and we were the ones running late. Two, it's been 3 years since we've done this in person, but this is one of the larger turnouts I've seen as well. So give yourselves a pat on the back for being so engaged in here and involved in this conversation. I want to start with some introductions. First, I'm David Kitzman, the principal here at Griswold School. For those of you who I don't know, I look forward to getting to know you much better over the coming years. To my right, we have the more important people. I'm going to start here with Mrs. Marquis. She is our teacher in K1. There we go, special stand up. Then we have, and I do this once a year. Outside of that, he's known as Mr. D, but tonight I'm going to say Mr. D Lokinski. So that's Mr. D in K2. In K3 tonight, we have Mrs. Langlis. Then we have next to her in K4, Mr. Miller. And finally, in K5, we have Mrs. Fagan. So this is our kindergarten teaching team. Let's give them a round of applause. Equally as important, behind them we have Mrs. Quinn, who is our lead teacher. Lead teacher is similar to that of an assistant principal in Berlin. We call them lead teachers. So she works a lot with the teachers, but also with the kids. So she's someone who you'll have contact with over the course of your K5 experience here. And then another person you're going to have a lot of contact with is another one of the most important people in the building. We have Mrs. Judy McCormick, our school nurse. And then I do this once a year, and she's shaking her head at me right now, but Mrs. Rogers, this is the last time I'll be doing this. Mrs. Rogers, who's helped us set up the night, she's hanging out, and she leaves as soon as I say this. So here is Mrs. Rogers. Let's give her a round of applause as well. She's been overseeing this event for 34 years, and I think she wants me to stop talking right now, so I will. Okay, again, thank you all for coming. This is a really special night. It's an exciting night. We're very excited to meet your kiddos and welcome them to Griswold School. We have a very busy summer ahead of us, spring and summer. A lot of that is getting ready for your kiddos and everyone else, but also you guys preparing them for kindergarten at home. Raise your hand if you have an older student already at Griswold or have gone through Griswold. Okay, so for you this is a little bit of a, just not rinse, wash, repeat, but you've been here before, so you know. Put your hand up again a little bit higher. Now, everyone whose hand is down, please look at them and make eye contact. Those are the people you're going to go to when you have questions and you say, how come Mr. Kitzman sent this email? Or what does this mean? When does this night come? Because they are going to help you out immensely. So, thank you guys for your hands. I appreciate it. Griswold School, for those of you who don't know, we are a K-5 school. Next year we expect around 510 students. And we're looking at about 87 right now. That's an exact number, but it could change over the summer. 87 incoming kindergarten students. So we anticipate 5 sections, and we're looking at class sizes between 16 and 18. All this information will change over the course of between now and August 25th is the start of the school next year. We'll check that. I see a couple people on yes. So that information is subject to change, but that's just a brief overview of Griswold School. Class placements will be mailed home to you typically the beginning of that second week in August, or maybe the first week in August. A lot of it depends on student enrollment and some changes along the way, but that's always our goal, is to get that placement out to you early on in August. Our school mission here at Griswold School is that we are committed to encouraging children to develop as lifelong learners and to fulfill their potential. To this end, we provide experiences which enable children to meet academic, social challenges, perseverance, confidence, sensitivity, and responsibility in order to make a positive influence in their world. That seems like a lot for your 4 and 5-year-olds who are coming to join us. But I guarantee you, by the time they're done with their Griswold experience, they will be making a positive impact in their school, in their community, and eventually in the world. Your kids are going to come home tired. I want you to remember that. I'm sure all of them are taking naps now. Maybe some are starting to transition out of that napping stage. I see parents going like this, no, I wish they were, but they're not anymore. They're going to come home exhausted, especially that first month or so of school. They're going to build their stamina. In fact, that's one of their goals, the teacher's goals over the beginning portion of the school year, is to build that stamina. But they're going to come home and you're going to think they ran a marathon. So that might even be a good thing though. So they'll get that extra sleep. What can you do to prepare for kindergarten? So I have a brief list here of things I just want to go over to, hopefully help you prepare over the summer for kindergarten. The first one would be reading to your children. Read to your kids every night, even if it's the same story for the 30th time. Just them experiencing the elements of the story, the rhythm, the pattern, seeing how we start a book, how we open, read left to right, show them the pictures, talk to them about what you're reading. Read to your kids. I might say that a few more times tonight, but it's really important. There's a kindergarten readiness pamphlet in your folders as well with some information to help you get ready. In that pamphlet as well, you're going to find frequently asked questions, information about our music program, the school bucks, which is how we pay for our student lunches, the health information, and then there's also some information there for special education. However, if you're a part of that, you probably have already received some of that information as well. The other thing you're going to find in that packet that's very important tonight is the parent questionnaire. So you might even want to try to find that right now and earmark it. The reason that packet, the parent questionnaire, is so important is that we have a K welcome at the end of May. I'll be sending out an email soon for you to sign up for time slots. The K welcome is when you bring your kids to Griswold. It's May 25th and May 26th. We have 3 sessions, I believe, each night for those 2 nights. We break the kids up into groups of maybe 8 students, and they go with one of the teachers and a few other staff members into the classrooms. And we observe them in the classroom doing some activities, playing, drawing, asking them some questions, and we gather information about class placements. It's a very important event that we encourage everyone to attend. If you can't make it, that's okay. You can still come to Griswold School, but that's an important event that we ask you to come. While your kids are doing that with the teachers, Mrs. Quinn and I and Mrs. McCormick are going to sit down with you and get to talk to you and learn a little bit more about your children as well. Ask questions about their likes, their dislikes, how we can support them best to make a smooth transition to kindergarten. So that's an opportunity for us to have a face-to-face talk. It's quick, I'll admit it's very fast, but I'm taking notes and writing things down. Then what I do is I meet with the teachers, we sit down, and that's how we create our class lists. So you'll get a sign-up genius to sign up for a time slot. It's May 25th and May 26th, though. You'll need to come to one session on one of those nights. So maybe mark that or put that in pencil in your calendar until you get that invitation from them. A question we often get from parents entering kindergarten is, what are some of the characteristics of a successful student in kindergarten for readiness? And so I just want to go over a few things here. I already mentioned to read to them a lot. The next thing would be to sing with your kids at home. Sing songs, sing traditional songs, even if it's Rockabye Baby or what's a good song to sing to them at home? Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, nursery rhymes. Sing to your kids, sing with the kids, get them doing that. We sing with them a lot at school as well, and so that's something to help them get ready for kindergarten. Play with words, play with rhyming words, have fun with sounds, things like that. Bring them to our playground, expose them to Griswold School Playground, come and play with them, make play dates. If you meet anyone here for the first time, make play dates with the people you're meeting and come play at Griswold School. Do a lot of coloring, cutting, and gluing at home, and then start building that independence when it comes to bathrooming and getting dressed. That's another essential thing that when kids enter kindergarten, we look for to help them have a successful transition. So if they're not already there, that's fine. But start doing a little bit more of that and build that independence in them. Another thing you can do to get ready for Griswold School in kindergarten is volunteer. So we had a parents club table set out front. I'm looking for my parents club representative right now, and I don't see her. So, there she is. There's Mindy. So parents club is an essential part of our school. It's one of the reasons we have such a successful building. We have one of the more supportive parent communities, I would say, in the state of Connecticut. They do so much fundraising for us, organizing family nights, organizing field trips, and just opportunities for the kids. So we encourage all of you, this kindergarten class, we encourage you to get involved early with Parents Club. You don't have to have been a member of our community for long to make a positive impact in Parents Club. We meet the first Monday of every month during the school year, and I'm looking at Mindy to see if I'm leaving anything out. We have a large group of parents in 5th grade who are graduating away from us, and so we're looking to fill some of those volunteer spots as well. So please consider participating in Parents Club. It's a great way to get involved at Griswold School with your kids. Another thing that you can do is volunteer. Be a mystery reader in the classroom. Your teachers will talk to you early on in the school year about how to do that. But do what you can to participate and engage in some of those activities, whether it's chaperoning the field trip or finding time in your day to come in and be a mystery reader in the classroom. Those are all fun opportunities. Okay. It's a long time until the end of August, and I don't want to overload you with too much information. I feel like I may have already. We have a slideshow that I'm going to show you. And then after that, the teachers are going to talk to you a little bit about some things that you'll need to know for kindergarten as well. We haven't done this in 3 years, and over the last 3 years, it looks like Google has changed some of their permissions. So the music that we used to play with this has been deleted, and it took us the last 45 minutes with Mr. Angie's help to figure that out. So I'm going to try to play the music over the slideshow through Spotify. So bear with me if it takes me a few minutes to get started, but I'm going to show you a brief slideshow, and then we'll let the teachers talk.
night while we're on our knees. All I ask is please let them be little, 'cause they're only that way for a while. Give them hope, give them praise, give them love every day. Let them cry, let them giggle, let them sleep in the middle. Oh, but let them be little. So innocent, precious soul. Turn around, and it's time to let them go. So let them be little, 'cause they're only that way for a while. Give them hope, give them praise, give them love every day. Let them cry, let them giggle, let them sleep in the middle. Oh, but let them be little. Let them be little.
Okay, that was our slideshow, and I gotta admit, Spotify is spot on with that last song because that was their choice for My Girl. But I think we need to add that to next year's slideshow. So with that, I'm going to pass this off now to the teachers who are going to talk to us a little bit about a day in the life of kindergarten.
Welcome to the Griswold School family. My name is Mr. D. I get to go first because I'm the old guy. Mr. Kitzman had you look around to see folks who had already been part of Griswold School. I would encourage you to look around and introduce yourselves to each other because you're going to be planning high school prom parties together. So that connection that you all create will in fact have a lasting impact on your experience. Mr. Kitzman mentioned what was in the folder. I'd like to just draw your attention to this kindergarten orientation pamphlet. It speaks to some of the readiness that Mr. Kitzman spoke about to answer some basic, simple questions that you might have. The most important thing, if out of all the information that anyone is giving you tonight, in my opinion, the most important thing that you should walk out of here knowing is that wherever your child is, whether they are just learning their name and their first letters, or if they are reading when they walk in the door, it is our job to take them as they are, love them, and help them to grow from September to June. So nothing else besides that is as important as that right there to the 5 of us. So that's our job. In September, there will be an open house. That is an evening for parents to come and meet with your classroom, your child's classroom teacher. That's the night where you'll get all of the specifics about academics, social, structure, housekeeping things about the classroom. All of that information will be that evening in September. Then there are reporting periods. Your child will get their first report card in November, and we will meet as a team between the parents and their classroom teacher to discuss their transition into kindergarten. How are they doing social emotionally? Are they happy? Are they sharing? Are they making friends? Are they able to be relatively independent in the classroom? Then in March, they'll get another report card, and you'll come and meet with their teacher again. That will be more focused on their progress through the academics that are expected in kindergarten. And then finally, they'll get a report card on the last day of school. So the communication and the teamwork between you and your child's teacher is essential. But as I said, the connection and the teamwork between all of you is just as important. Welcome to Griswold School.
Good evening. My name is Mrs. Markey, and I teach kindergarten in K1. I have a lot of miscellaneous items to go over with you, so I'll be reading from my paper here. Unlike Mr. D, who does very nicely with speaking without notes. Mr. Kitzman mentioned a letter coming home over the summer, so I'm just going to refer to that a little bit. That'll include the name of your child's teacher, and it usually arrives at the beginning of August. In this mailing, you're going to find a few other things. So one item you're going to find, and there's the volunteer form that was also mentioned. Please let us know your interest and availability, and also the frequency that you would like to help out. It's important that you're specific so we can, find the right match for our different needs. So, for example, some parents might come in once a month, while others want to come in once a week. So that's important to let us know. In a typical year, we have classroom volunteers in our room regularly. We are very hopeful for a typical year next year. We will be responsive, of course, though, to the health and safety restrictions, and we will make adjustments to our plan as needed. In that summer mailing, you're going to also find a bus tag for you to print your child's name, room number, and a drop-off location. This needs to be attached to your child's backpack. Please note, if you ever need to change your child's bus routine for dismissal, it is required that you send a note in. A welcome letter from your classroom teacher will also be in that summer mailing. Please include your child in reading that letter from your teacher and include them in helping to prepare for that first day of school. Let's see. In tonight's folder, as was mentioned, is a school box notice. This is an account for you to deposit money for your cafeteria purchases, and this avoids having to send in cash to school, which is really helpful. This is important to do whether your child buys regularly or just once in a while. It's just a really handy way of working our cafeteria. We appreciate your participation in this program. Our lunchtime is early, it's at 11 a.m., and we will have an afternoon snack mid-afternoon. Somebody's going to talk a little bit more about that later. Next, a friendly reminder from the office to complete all online forms and school portal updates. To complete all online forms and registration information in a timely fashion. So we have a portal called Power School, and it's really important that you keep that updated throughout the year. So you change a phone number or an address or your emergency contact person. It's really important that you update that throughout the year. That's called Power School. Finally, we will be hosting a meet and greet at the end of August. That was also mentioned on one of the days before school begins. On that day, you're going to receive an ABCs of Kindergarten handbook from your classroom teacher. That will have a lot of information for you and will answer many questions you may still have after this orientation today. And I think that's all for me. So next you're going to hear about some materials from Mrs. Langless. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Langless. So to begin the year, there are some materials your child will need. We have snack every day, and we ask that you send a small, healthy snack from home daily. Please be mindful of our allergen-free policy for the classrooms. Our classrooms are peanut-free. It's okay to send in items with peanuts from for lunch in the cafeteria, but not for snack in the classroom. If there are any other allergy concerns, they will be addressed on a class-by-class basis. We also have quiet time every day. Please send a back-sized towel for your child. Please send a back-sized towel for your child to rest on during quiet time. A folder will be needed so that papers can be sent to and from school every day. And your child will also need a backpack that is large enough to fit their library books and this folder daily. Please send any personal items such as clothing, backpacks, towels, or hats labeled with your child's name. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Mr. Miller. I'm teaching K-4, and I'm going to share with you a few suggestions that we have as far as the transition to kindergarten goes. And by transition for your child, of course, but also for you, because it is a transition for your family, especially if you're a first-time kindergarten parent. We're very excited to have you. First off, the kindergarten welcome, as Mr. Kitzman mentioned, is coming up soon. I believe the sign-ups are in the back of the room instead of Sign Up Genius. So a few parents did sign up already. On your way out during transitions for the rooms, you're welcome to sign up for those times. And if you're unsure, you could call the office, but that's very important for a transition. Once you get your teacher assignment over the summer, we always recommend families to contact others through Facebook or whatever social media, or if you know neighborhood families, it's great to get together with other kids in kindergarten, even if they're not in your classroom, just so kids can be playing with some new classmates, see each other at the library, neighbors, baseball games, whatever you do out in the community. We definitely recommend visiting Griswold School, going to the playscape. And if you're not familiar, we do have a larger playscape over here. But if you go around the building, there's a hardtop with a smaller playscape that's very appropriate for 4- and 5-year-olds, especially depending on their level of utilizing those playscapes. Have your child help pick out all their exciting things for kindergarten. Bring them to the stores or Amazon, picking out their backpack, their towel, their folder. Give them a little ownership, and that will build some excitement for the upcoming school year. And definitely read a lot of themed books for the year. Mr. Kitzman mentioned songs. You can read ABC books, number books. And then we actually put a whole bunch of books out in the hallway as you tour the classrooms. Don't take them, but it's more ideas for you to look and browse through to see that there's so many options that you could either go to the library or even go to YouTube and Google, YouTube search it, and those books always come up being read aloud by other people. Draw, color together, do lots of fun activities together, and definitely talk about the exciting things. If there are any nerves, that's perfectly natural, and I think your children will feed off of you. So even if you have to fake your excitement a little, if you're a little worried about kindergarten, that's perfectly normal. Just try not to let your child see that, because it will rub off a little bit. We definitely want them to be as excited as they can, and you as well, for those first days of school. And then the teacher meet and greet, as mentioned, will be shared at the end of August. You'll get more information. And then finally, the last few years, Mrs. Fagan and I worked together. We developed some activities that have been getting information mailed out to incoming families. You'll get a letter at some point early in the summer, and the letter will direct you to an app called Seesaw, or a website called Seesaw. And all it is, it's just weekly, fun, optional activities that you can do. They include some read-alouds from the teachers, fine motor activities, play activities, all optional, all meant to be fun, but something hopefully you and your child can look forward to. So you'll see that very soon. Thank you again, and I'll pass it off to Mrs. Fagan for the last part of our presentation. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I get to get through the best part because I get to give you a little homework. So our homework for you is to look around each kindergarten classroom tonight and explore the various areas of our rooms. Find 1 or 2 things that you think your child would absolutely love. Feel free to take a few pictures of exciting things to share with your child to start building the excitement for kindergarten. On the smartboard in each kindergarten classroom, you will see a variety of activities that your child will enjoy. Feel free to try out some of these activities and imagine the joy of learning that your child will experience in kindergarten. Enjoy the rest of the kindergarten orientation, and we look forward to seeing you in our classrooms.
so the teachers are going to go back to the rooms now and just do some final touches before you all come down and see the rooms. In the meantime, Mrs. McCormick has some very important medical information to share with you as well. So we have one more speaker while they get set up. We'll see you guys in a little bit. And this is Judy McCormick, our school nurse.
Hi. So my name is Judy McCormick. I'm the school nurse here at Griswold. The school nurses in town are employed by the Town of Berlin's Public Health Department, but this department manages all school health services in conjunction with the Board of Education, the town medical advisor, which is Dr. Torsepa, and the Central Connecticut Health District. So I'm here at school full-time throughout the school year. I'm on school property before the buses arrive in the morning, and I remain until all children have been dismissed. I also have a health room aide who works with me. Her name is Pat Balarjian, and she's here daily from 8:30 to 2:30. So the primary objective of the school health program is to make certain that each student enjoys the best possible health so they get the maximum benefit from their education. So therefore, we adhere to all of Connecticut state regulations concerning physical exams, immunizations, and medication requirements. So I'm going to try to quickly review these regulations with you now. So each student must have a physical exam done within 1 year prior to the start of school or school entry for kindergarten. So this exam for your children could have been done anytime between last September 1st, 2021 and the day before school starts this year, August 24th of 2022, because we start on the 25th. And the physical form is this blue assessment record, but we also take photocopies, faxes, whatever. But this form is filled out by the doctor on the inside. The front page is the part that the parent fills out, and this is just an area that you would use to inform me of any health concerns you may have about your child that I need to be aware of, maybe, food or eating issues, bathroom issues, things like that. Whatever you want to put on here, and please sign the bottom. So I do need to have this form before they start school, before the first day. But the sooner I get it, the better. I review them all spring now and all summer long, and I have to make a cumulative health record on each student, which is going to follow them through their 12 years of school. So whenever you have the form, feel free to send it in. Each student also must be adequately immunized before he or she may attend school. Immunizations protect the health of your child as well as other children in school. So I'm going to review the immunization requirements with you. If you wanted to take a look at them, this is in your folder. It's from the Department of Nursing, and you can kind of follow along. I'm just going to be brief, but I do want to let you know that not only do I have to be sure your child has the correct number of doses of each vaccine, but I also have to check to make sure they received them at the appropriate time in relation to their birthday and that they're spaced apart appropriately. Now, physicians are well aware of the state requirements. Usually there are no problems at all, but occasionally a mistake happens. Your child may receive a vaccine too early, or they might not receive one at all. Sometimes they might be sick for their visit, they might postpone it, and then you forget to make another one, whatever. So if I do find a problem, I will work with you and your physician to try to get that resolved prior to the start of school. So the vaccines that are required for school entry include the DTP, which is diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. They need at least 4 doses, with the last being on or after their 4th birthday. They need at least 3 doses of polio, the last given on or after their 4th birthday. 2 doses of the MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella. The first has to be given on or after the 1st birthday, and the second at least 28 days later. They need 3 hepatitis B vaccines, and those are spaced at least 4 weeks between dose 1 and 2, 8 weeks between 2 and 3, 16 weeks between dose 1 and 3, and the last dose has to be given after 24 weeks of age. So as you can see, I have to do a lot of looking at the calendar and a lot of counting to make sure that things are spaced. Hepatitis A, they need 2 doses, 1 on or after their 1st birthday, and the second one at least 6 calendar months later. Varicella, which is chickenpox, they need 2 doses, 1 on or after their 1st birthday, and the second at least 3 months later. And then if your child happens to be starting school prior to turning 5, they need at least 1 dose of their Hib vaccine and 1 of the pneumococcal vaccine on or after their 1st birthday. So again, usually this is all set, but if I do find something that's missing, I'll call you. Also, elementary school students may not carry any type of medication into or around the school building. Connecticut law mandates that any medication taken at school, including over-the-counter medicines, even things like vitamins, Tums, Tylenol, anything like that, requires a written doctor's order. I have these orders in my health room. Doctors have them in their offices. You can also get them on our website. So if your child does need to take an inhaler or has an EpiPen or you want Tylenol here at school, you just need to make sure one of these is filled out. It has to have the name of the student on it, as well as the medication's name, dosage, route, and the frequency to be given. And there's also a place for the parent or guardian to sign, giving the nurse permission to administer. Also, if you choose, you can come and give your child medication here at school, obviously without needing a doctor's order. You just need to give us a call. You'd be coming into the main entrance, go into the vestibule, and I'll bring your child out to you so that you can administer the medication. So our health room is typically a pretty busy place. We're here to care for children who develop illnesses or become injured at school. Please don't rely on us to take care of any injuries or illnesses that might have happened on the weekend or in the evening. We can't diagnose anything, any medical conditions, and we're not here to take the place of your pediatrician or a clinic. I'd be happy to give you my opinion on or an assessment of what I see, but I can't diagnose anything. In addition to treating the day-to-day illnesses and injuries, we provide hearing, vision, and scoliosis screening per the state guidelines. If your child fails a screening, it will be repeated, and if your child fails a second time, you'll be notified, and you'll be asked to follow up with your physician. We also send home notices if your child's class, there might be a child in your child's class that has a communicable illness that you need to be aware of. So a note will come home. Obviously, we don't name names, but we may say that there's a case of strep in your class or case of conjunctivitis, just so that you're aware and you could be looking for symptoms in your child. As a parent, I also ask you to keep a few things in mind. If your child is sick, please keep him or her home from school. And please call the school in the morning and inform us that your child is sick and won't be in. If you don't call us, we'll call you. For the safety of your child, we need to know that a child who left for school in the morning has arrived here safely. I'd also appreciate it if you can just give us a reason when they're out, such as saying they have a sore throat or that they vomited, instead of just saying ill, because that helps me to track the communicable illnesses and notify other parents of possible exposures if necessary. You'll also receive a follow-up phone call from the health room if there's any symptoms that you list which could be COVID related. We would then call you back, kind of go over the symptoms and go over COVID protocol. And then when your child returns to school after any general illness, please send in a note stating the reason for the absence, just so we have that on file. Speaking of COVID, and I can't tell you how many times things have changed over these past 2 years, so I'm not going to go into the COVID protocol, but our protocol in the health room has changed and continues to change as the CDC and the state learn more about this virus. So we'll share the latest information with you as it gets closer to the start of school. The other thing I think one of the teachers mentioned, if your child does become ill or injured at school, it's really important that we are able to reach you or another adult that you've designated as an emergency contact if you're not available. So when you complete your online registration, there is that section to fill in your phone numbers as well as your emergency contacts. Please list all the numbers that you have available: home numbers, cell numbers, work numbers, extensions. All of this is in PowerSchool. And if anything does change during the year, please either make the change in PowerSchool, call the main office, call the health room, write a note, send an email, something. There are many times when I'm trying to call a parent because someone is sick or somebody is injured, and I find out they no longer have the home phone, they changed jobs, they have a new cell phone, and as you can imagine, this could be a big problem in an emergency. And also, please remember to keep me updated of any of your child's health conditions that might change throughout the years. They're entering kindergarten now with this physical, and sometimes we don't get another physical. It's not required again until 6th grade. They may develop allergies along the way, or things may happen. So please, remember to call us and update me if they're on daily medicines that I need to be aware of, or if they have any new conditions. You can give me a health form every year if you choose, but it's not required again until 6th grade. And that's it for now. If you have any other questions, please feel free to call or stop in. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. If you need a health form or if you need a doctor's order form now, we did have some out at the table. You can pick one up tonight. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now we really quick have the quiz on Mrs. McCormick's information. So under your chairs, I try to be funny. It's not awesome, but okay. Thank you, everyone. I hope this information was informative. I know it's a lot, and I know there's still a long time before August 25th. And you'll have questions along the way. Feel free to reach out to us via email or call. We'll get back to you as quickly as we can. Now, though, we want to open up the classrooms. So all 5 kindergarten classrooms, starting down here by the main entrance, going down to the first 5 classrooms, are open. Mrs. Fagan did give you some homework, and we'll be checking to see how you did on that. So please feel free to go tour the classrooms, walk around. I'll be in here answering questions if anyone would like to talk. But thank you so much for coming. I can't wait to meet your kids, and have a great night.